Yeba some no a dosso na poso and ye. Yeba come raswe jefiem de see ya. And I'm so ma Ghana near branch be sure nkwa or Rich Hospital Krapumpreman Temuno and then raswe ganate basum kobi so more enkoshishim.
Dr. Keso ato for said so at the value for money bill akwakotomra share be the fee.
Yebeko half man temno na half apostle for no match rantie bia yesi etu esum mo ho no enyasem ketu akra.
Honorable Joseph Bukari ni pe one yeso for share ashen akobede won sem so de betudwa se kotoka wiem share gina bia no a se yes se din no de akọ Accra International Airport no ehia se ba mrehye be dwafie ma abobodie bia ekoso
NPP mrahye be dwafo so adwalai adaya omo se Ghana fo adwadifo bia omo ko ka mu Burkina Faso abonten so a besi ne aban ne mesi bibi nkyere mrahye be dwa no wonu fi se enye ne kwan so no
adehye sokoban news site okumase ha enso no esu o masem nyina ene sa kwan futi nam so e ma se de o mo home from papa mo sra ban aban be o makwan no e ma wo
we ni afoforo pi no ani akeke se ene ne se kasea ba bia wo bia na no pay ye ba ne de aba be somwo asra enkoma emopathy premium and super premium rice no omo ene de abadwa so asese wo bia enu abia ma na busuya edie enti anope nkwala ne ko school abusuya ne tiesi abonten a na omo lunch box ne ade no wahwe se eye super premium and premium rice na de nu aduane no ema wo mo mbedidi nyina etu ase abonsu agusu akesu iyo akasenya nseni na wade na fe yakodwabirura bank so ye bowra ho no mo a yesusu ye pese ye ka bank rura fo no ho be eno nti ye kwa akoto shares okuta 100 Ghana cedis okuta 200 Ghana cedis okuta 500 Ghana cedis a obetima to shares e wo dwabirura bank na ososo ye ka bank rura fo a waba be kan bi afeso ne ye bu nkunta achesika ne mfaso aba e de ama bank rurafo a osusu agibia hwewata so na de akwakwa e de wodi ye bia wo sika bi da baabi e na baabi e da ne ye tete so rough abra unyansi wu bia mfa ho a abusia mfa koto dwabirura bank insi ho a ye de betoto ho de ama bosumi bia no enye asempketo de friend fixed deposit ni bi fakọ ne fakoto dwabirura bank na wa obehia me na wadama so mo na aso yasene mu a anopa bia wo ya ne yetimi abane aba besomwo meden ede na ya abo amale bia boga no pa me ne
ajwa nyako abronoma
yenye brena fe nsam ne yenkomo ankasa mfama mo ne yede mo hyase ye de free Ghana mrasbe gefiem abusiafo mo ne musama rehosam a esi nkrapompone mantam Rich Hospital abra Ghana ni abrante bi nyankwanhia no mo tabiri no ekopia ya sabia ho na se doctor for ene nurses beje bre no ma hwa abram abemu ano na oma pre ne nkwade amano no we di me ma mete we di mpani ho we di oxygen asa we di paracetamol ni ho kaka pempem blood tonic asa omo di nsewunu sa eno bi desia kama ehwe ne nkwa ya enne adane asem a baabi abefa bia Ghana fo yetutu na srani abasa na asem yakopiem na asem gefiem ema emraso gafo na bobo ho ebedu ba mi kwa ne kesa akwa emprekoto so wozi MPP fo na ye wozu se NDC fo na aye na efutu mraso edwane onabo Alexander Afenyoma kina wono ene die dom kuma nanim eye ne se baabi aye duro no enyam politicsism na nya mayo chamsam o se yetenase no man no yeti ani ehwe apom de ho nsensem yi na baabi a ekonde eya agensamo
of the then Director General of Ghana Health Service, a clear directive was issued explicitly prohibiting the denial of emergency care on the basis of bed availability. The directive was unequivocal. It mandated immediate triage, immediate stabilization, and the use of alternative surfaces, couches, tables, wheelchairs, and where beds were unavailable. The principle was and remains simple. Stabilize first, resolve bed logistics later. In the case of Charles Emisa, that principle was abandoned and a man died as a result. Mr. Speaker, before I proceed further, it is right and proper
no na edom kuma ewo mrasebe gefiem na kese MPP dom a o mrasebe gefiem no ye kandifo di won manim na o cheche ne nsem wo no na no si ya na lambusi mrasebe dwane ono akra so de ono a ene sa so eye board chairman e o kolebu aban aya sabia honorable Dr. Titus Kofi Benyo ono so edna no etum bie sa reho sami yesi enye se bia aban de kwa kwese dum ni adan bia de hoso no ye na omosesa ne ma wo yapom dire won sensem no ono muguso a wo motoato adwene sesu adwene etutu ho anamo.
Survive. The minority leader mentioned his BP at the beginning. At Kolebu, when they checked the BP in the ambulance monitor, it had come down to 84/56. That is someone who is just about dying. So if they could at least set a line and run some fluid in transit, a lot of patients will survive. So the model that allowed them to only scoop and run must be changed. And their training must be upgraded so that have paramedics that are specialized to be able to provide some basic care. But in conclusion, attitude is our biggest problem. All of this will not change if the attitude does not change. May I stand on this to appeal to my colleague health workers. Look at that next patient, that it could be you, it could be your father, it could be your mother. It doesn't have to be another doctor calling you before you create a bed and accept the patient. Because the one that can call, maybe you may be the one unconscious who will call on your behalf. Thank you.
Yeah, Honorable Dr. Titus Benyo were NDC Mrasvigeni or woman Rasvigema this year. What Lambusi Baton Petua so no acronoa and a Sassia board chairman or da Kolebua Baya Sabia and Wamochichi ye MPP Bo Munkro Fenifa na NDC Susu do Modia Efa Bunkumno and Rasvig Chami in a right honorable Alban Kingsford Sumana Babin SS and anything ya or more Atiba Sunku a Broswana watching you know or Mokofi Muni Dimuma Bemunshim na the Nam Soma Sabemu and Australian Kwaya or Rich Hospital no or more infamy to be yesterday.
Of the ministry or the Kolebu Hospital. This house should take keen interest in what happens. And so I'll direct our committee on health to take all the reports that will come from the ministry, the Kolebu Hospital, or wherever, and go deeply into it. We have to take control. We need to inquire further into the matter, and we need to hold people accountable. This is one of the needless deaths we have experienced in this country. At the end of the day, I will urge the House for us to legislate on the matter. We need to pass an emergency.
Yeah, I am Rasvig Chairman, a right honorable Alban Kingsford Sumana Babinena Etening Cano.
That's why I will mash Bedra Fear Horna and not so, and our my photo some phone Korean so and I am Mashabania or somebody share war a Jumako in Yan Sim. Or the one noble case or what forcing on also at the bill be aquacoto and rashe with your fee on a bill way no at the value for money office bill 2026. Not just we had to watch the Musa Sabili, Sampany 42 never yamra when we're about a bois, Amasicabia. Mampany and I said, I no ebe edia from my yaposwomo no, also but we won't conta at the etre Ghana for Sebabwa ma pepe ya ba, Ebabwa ma fan ya benafe be a bino be bia. Tekuni simple be a bino de babo mine who brebia, a mubadaho amatuemo for Atias, your real was such a musep, so be a contract and as a bino ebemano contragia. Billy Banne Bayemra, and was a binding the kind, and man certificate be, and ebedia dances and penny for any dear and Sunday. Ma only chrono contrage, the amount of contrage, we are married or many dear chile, ashes what the moon semina, Ebaya Jumana Ghana for sick be a dear money pacro, so ofanya Juma be Emma Ghana for no, Odipano and so I near Dr. Kessel at all forces.
Money Office Bill seek to address chronic inefficiencies in the public financial management system, particularly those arising from inflated contracts, abandoned projects, cost overrun, and wasteful spending. By institutionalizing a value for money framework, this bill aims to ensure that every cedi spent by the government delivers the maximum possible benefit to citizens in terms of economy, efficiency, effectiveness, equity, and sustainability. Furthermore, the establishment of the Value for Money Office will create a specialized and independent oversight institutions with the technical mandate to conduct value for money assessment, issue value for money certificate before major contracts are awarded, monitor compliance, and ensure sanctions where violations occur. The overarching objective is to ensure fiscal discipline, reduce waste, promote public confidence, and strengthen the governance and accountability architecture of the country. Mr. Speaker, the bill
Ifutu samfo Owia Kaseɛ atoba for sin na yetinike.
Na yeguso ade mo mrasme gefie mo hono no yemfa mo mfiri sikase mo na afi yemfa mo nkɔ bambo mo NPP mrasme gyafo no madwalai o mo nsem nyina rehosem a eto Ghana ma de hye bi ekɔ Burkina Faso kodi dwa so mo kokrantos ne je na bɔ mayi mo ewiase wo mo akɔkɔdi nsensem bi ewuo yahye bi dwire be a yeso mo no mpe kura no edene se be kyerɛ se we asomesi anaso obenti a yesiesi o mo Burkina Faso abonten so no NPP mrasme gyafo no bufo nyina se besi na Sarah Hosemi esi ye no aban no enya akukuduro aban ni hunya ehunhia se wo mo bamrasbe gefiem no mo bese bibi e de ekire Ghanafo na Ghanafo ehunu empo enene kyerɛn anamontu aban ne etutu se beye na Sarah Hosemi ebi ento o maye ebio NPP mrasbe gani o mrasbe gefiem adehye a ewo Asensa Tabaton Pesua so Reverend John Intim Fojo ena ejina ne nuanam NPP mrasbe gafo enemo a wode sansemi etudwa.
After several days of the reported news of the killing of 8 Ghanaian tomato traders in Burkina Faso in a terrorist killing, we have waited for over a week. None of the ministers, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Minister for Defense, Minister for Interior, none of them had the courtesy to appear before us in Parliament to even update us. And the exercise of our oversight responsibility, the minority joint committees of Foreign Affairs, of Defense and Interior, and Security and Intelligence, we wrote and insisted and summoned the 3 ministers of the security sector governance with the Foreign Affairs Minister, i.e. the Minister for Interior and National Security, the Minister for Defense, and the Minister for Foreign Affairs to appear before the Joint Committee of Defense and Interior, Security and Intelligence, and Foreign Affairs, so that we will hold them to account for them to update us what occurred, what
in South Maraswe Jenny Reverend John Intim Fojo no jina ni nuanam MPP Maraswe gyafo anema wode sansem yetuja.
Honorable Joseph Bukari ni penso ana yeswafo wo hye ahyan akobede onsem so ewo yema yemu na enye nim se abane de betu dwa se wo ye hyehyeye na afi kotoka ewimhye gina bia no yasesa din no e de akọ Accra International Airport ejebo enya ba bedra wie empanyifo aye bibia wie ayekasa de kotoka wimhye egina bia din no asasesa konda demu a ababaye Accra International Airport no enenam so ema wo swafo yo Honorable Joseph Bukari nipe enso ababonte ababechiremu se ehia senkedi sesan yanka abayi na ne afi na komode komra hye bedwafi akwa ne sere ne abasa akwatwitwade egu apaso ama we so ne sere na we so na abasa na akoma tutuma wo se debi de enti abokasa ene se wo se kane no ewo Ghana ye mremu a kane no panyefo de kan ye bibia de egu hadi sesa no wo ho de dadanya afi na eba be frase abekomra hye bedwafi ama makoka bibia ansa no maba bedan no eno nti na akofa mra hye bedwafi ama anobaba ye bia ankoso ewo ho woni santrofo akasa achem de enti a no etusana mo no.
You remember that it came as a result of the NLCD 309. It was a decree that was brought to set a trust to cater for the families of Kotoka and other soldiers who were killed along that time. And it happened that he was killed at the forecourt of the airport. And so if you look at the decree, its intention was to set a trust to take care of the families of the soldiers who were killed. And so if you look within it, they decided to honor him by introducing or renaming the airport after him. But the purpose of the decree was to establish a trust. Now there was
Joseph Bukari ni pewie ye wamananso ha wo se we na koba no ade sesa ba no ekofo bi kasa ansha na eja ye ko tabiri sika kase from mine bosom e na akwa ye nema hodo bi e sakraye ewo airport ho se da bi we na ka bia nim e di keke e na yesesa no.
The good news for us is that all these organizations that control aviation, since the name change of Accra to Kotoka, have not changed the country code. ACAO still maintains the country code DGAA. IATA and ACAO still maintain the country code ACC. So there's nothing to change at the international level. The only thing to change is the signages and the billboards that we have. But Kotoka, as a company, they already have the vendors who produce their letterheads on daily basis for them. So it's not a new contract. It's just a matter of Kotoka is now out. The same vendors who were doing their letterheads, their stamps, are the same companies to continue to now change. Just a removal of Kotoka and it will be Accra.
So for share akobedi hon sam so honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe.
Afien famon ko bambo ma posifu egu hafu mantem no mo ena entity abeto TV Jeff4 Pennsylvania Katarimranti apono so eche so ma chechire mamu bia yesi etuo ni akode a eso wo mo mo de nam na nyasam ketoa na aposifu a wo mo bom pempe boban ewo ayom so ene go so kwantempo no so asene ye da wo mo ye no ene odu ho no ma branti ene wagina na wo wadidi nkomo kakra hwehwe ka no wa biebie mu a ahwede egum na so mema okwan mo akwa wo mo ama okwan amo akwa na branti eduru ho no na gese ne megu ka nim no na enyasam ketoa emu AK47 ene etua boba na esum ka nim no nti wo a ene gese aposifo no mantam wonum se bronyankoko mo dagya ho a se ne mo kase afumantama posifo edi wo mo ekwa kogina emra no emrante ne ba ko din di James Mauli Dagba na eye Kelvin Ofori di oka ho a ono no chese ode ne ho akemra eye Mohammed Adani Yusuf a osisi ode ne ho akemra police commander eye DCOP James Ano echeche nsemu sechi
nti omo hwehwe omo ho ni motorbike no na chese omo kuta bag bia AK47 the magazine shima itua beba baako edunum kro eshim no mo dina na enum na police for echi won na won do call baby omo tin so ewo ebuda ho ewo go so se ebuda ho no ko hwe omo de omo ko mauto damu no omunya saa niama me bebubu din apart from say no
fonti we DCOP James Ano etene kenenu achire o se adie wo hafo ene ne mpotam nyina bo se hwe no obi aye manchester no hwe no obi ensuro aposifo ayire bambo mu a obi antimi nya obi bibira wa abro obi anya obi bibia
na hafu regional police say ka amanfo nyina tititu wona wo hafu ha say bobo modia na ye duma dia ye no bi shemkina na pese hafu ha asumdwe mapa na fi so ewa ha asumdwe mapa ale pepe ye aba se ne be ya ye betumi atra asumdwe mu ye to so bio ye beto to ase amanfo say bibia wo information ana asembia ye betumi aboa police ewo say ye behwe say betu boni ase a ma on the train na ase
Afumantemu Police Commander DCOP James Ano ena yetene nke busuan yemfa kase ne nsia emopie yeda wono ase omo ede premium ni super premium rice abegwa so a sese de no ana ubia eno awu ede papa nyasem keto wo de ye jollof de ye friend sangwamo ni mutu ni wo wache ene e bia no pekra rice water bi na wo de ywa ne dene nyasem ketwa na fe jambin so ya bin oil no eno so eya anwa ye de echi ye kosua ye de echi nam ye de chichechi ye niam na ye de aye stew no we anwa we ne ntisa amanfo de bia wudi wia na ejejina obo ama obo akwakofu no no esane boko e ma wote aduane no soso ede na afi yummy tomato paste no soso eye tomato paste asese obiade ye nkwan de ye aduane de ye stew e ma aduane no wote ne de ye nti wo ye aduane a no ahwese emopafie omo tin tomatoes ene omanwa omo ede abedwaso no wahwe na odibi aye aduane no bia bedidi akamfo pa se wonsa no mponi na akwakoye wo baabi nyasem ketwa ope ebi atu atone a okọ eye edum oyire pa fm nche ho ebi oho no patase kumase eye chamfo hotel opposite waso bi oho no na enkran medie parks and gardens junction no also so ebi oho opese oye agent kra yense samro na de yin 112 manfo nya bito a eno so no fra yen 0244615117 0244615117 na fe yakodwa berura bank oseme nkan kire se omugusu a womo ema bosia no pe bosia na ya tere wahyem de ya tere onwuma mu a omugusu a womo ede mana biam so opese obeka bank rafo ho na ye kase dwaberura bank omo eye omo dia ye sese ba akom yenu miensa ye kan wo ka ho bia omo se omo bi omo aponato no ma obi bia boru omo branch bia mo na koto de akwasi broni kan so omo shares ni bi so kuta 100 cities so kuta 200 so kuta 300 400 enya ne kese ne hia wo de ne kakra bedu baby no na o shares na be kese na afi so ne ye che mfaso a wunya no eche obi dwetira wode eye adwuma afemu no enyina ena afi wo sika bi da baabi eda bank bi ye ma interest bia ye ma wonsi hu bia na so da bia ye titi sika no so a dwaberura bank se omo ye adwuma bank adwuma yi mfie aduanan ba ko ne ye chiri 41 years ni experience de nyasem keto bia so enyom ho asem enka nti sika no baabi eda no fabeto dwaberura bank na interest insi ho a ye de be ma wo sika no ho bosome bia no enye asem ketwa opese onu omu dinkomo enya nkyiremu bio ka ho a from our 0242387498 0242387498 na ne dwaberura bank eni enkomo ona so ya cinema no pay bia wo bia na etimi ba ye ba besomwo me de ede na ya bo amale bia boga no pay me ne
Ajwa nyako abronoma